Hello and welcome to my review of the Chaos Space Marines Forgefiend / Maulerfiend from the Eldritch Omens box set. Now, unlike all of the other miniatures, right now I'm recording this in March, that are only available from this set, this was the only model in the set that you can actually pick up separately. It's an older model, came out a decent while ago, and you can pick it up for £45 separately, and you can make either the Forgefiend or the Maulerfiend. I've built the Forgefiend. I will definitely be picking up another one of these and building it as a Maulerfiend. If you'd like to know what the differences are, well, I just so happen to have the instruction book here. So the top one is the Maulerfiend. It's got these big claws and these massive whipping coils and things on it. It doesn't really have any ranged weaponry, whereas the Forgefiend is what I've built there. So the format of this review, as always, will be I'll have a look at the miniature itself, go through the spare parts, of which there are a decent chunk of them. We'll go through I'll have a look at some size comparisons, and then we'll go through all of the 9th edition rules for this Forgefiend. So a little bit of a summary of the build. It's an alright build. There are a few mould lines in places and a few areas that you question how they kind of go together, but you don't need so much green stuff or anything like that. It goes together quite nicely. You will need some smoothing out of some of the gaps and things. Posability, you can't really pose it that much because of the way the feet, it's got 4 legs, the 4 feet, I mean, I guess you call them feet as well, sort of sit onto the base. It's on one of these oval bases. I want to say it came out similar time to those Tyrannid big miniatures that were similar sort of size to this. That's what this reminds me of. It reminds me of those medium-sized Tyrannid creatures. But I've equipped it full plasma. I'm just going, all in with the plasma for Chaos. That's what I want to go for. They want to just melt loyalist Space Marines, and this is the way they'll do it. So where I can, I'll pick plasma or flamers. It's a nice looking model. Still holds up well in the current range. It would be nice, I've always said this, I want to see Dark Mechanicum. I want to see more of these zoomorphism type demon engines, machines. I think they look great with the aesthetic of Chaos Space Marines. I love the Venom Crawler, the little Black Widow type spider thing. I really love the Helldrake. I want to see more of what Chaos is capable of. So that's the Forgefiend. Really nice looking mini. Does it fit this set? Yeah, I think it does fit the set more than the Black Templars army set that we got a couple of months ago, where we got the Primaris Redemptor Dreadnought. I would have preferred the Sword Brethren in that set. Whereas this, because you've got a Warpsmith, yeah, I mean, what other model could they have put in here? If they put the Venom Crawler, or even 2 Venom Crawlers, then they're easy to build monopose minis, and they both look the same. That's what this box set does, is it really supports my demand for more of these kind of creature type war machines. They haven't really got many that they could have drawn upon to put in this set. So it makes sense to put an actual demon engine in a set that includes a Warpsmith whose main job is to repair demon engines and also curse enemy vehicles. So that's the Forgefiend itself. £45. You can pick him up at a discount from Element Games. Please do use my Element Games affiliate link code below. Not only are you helping the channel out every time you click that link, but you'll also be earning the double crystals and getting a big discount off of your Warhammer goodness. So spare parts then, I do have them in this bag. Someone in the comments is just say, super, that's a Mars pattern Warhound Inferno cannon. Nice bag you got there. I know, I can already foresee that. But yeah, in here are the spare parts for the Forgefiend / Maulerfiend. A decent number. I don't know how you can, you know, how you can actually use these that much. I mean, maybe on bases, like you could probably have one of those on a base. You know, maybe an arm, possibly. Maybe one of these cannons. You know what I'm thinking of here, guys, don't you? Is we go for the Giga Gatling cannon and have him mounted on there. It's like a humongous Reaper chain cannon for one of your Chaos Space Marines. Anyway, they're all the spare parts, a decent number. You could probably use these in places. You could even sort of attach them on here, maybe, possibly. Who knows? But yeah, you've got the spare parts for the Maulerfiend if you were going to build that. So I do kind of question some of the usability of these spare parts, but there we are. Okay then, so size comparisons. Let's just start off by giving some size comparisons with the other minis in the box set, and you know, none other shall we start off with than the Warpsmith himself. He's right here. He's going to be accompanying the Forgefiend, probably like there behind him, just repairing his wounds and things. Occasionally popping out to, you know, pew pew a few Imperials with his plasma pistol. He'll be repairing the Forgefiend. The Forgefiend will be making its way up the table, firing those big plasma cannons. Compared to one of the Chosen, I've got the Chosen Champion. They're all similar sort of size. The Chosen look all right near him. It's absolutely fine. Works quite well. You know, they're heavily melee focused. They've got an extra attack and they've got some very nice weapons. You can equip them with the combi weapons as well. Well, 4 of them at least. So you can go all kind of shooty if you want. But I think this is a nice synergy between the close combat focused Chosen, which one wound, they'll probably die quite quick, and the Forgefiend that just deals with any sort of ranged weaponry. You can go full melee and build it as a Maulerfiend, and then you can kit out your Chosen as more of a melee focused Chosen, and then at least your Warpsmith is repairing the Forgefiend as it gets closer to the enemy. Other size comparisons, let's go with I say some vehicles. I wanted to do a comparison with the Venom Crawler. I don't have a Myphitic Blight Hauler anywhere nearby, but here is the Venom Crawler. I do really like these horrible looking like spider things. Very reminiscent of Doom for me, anything like mechanical, you know, like the spider demons and things, very similar. I do like that though, and it's just a shame that they didn't turn, you know, these into like full multi-part kits. Maybe they will at some point, I don't know. But if you were to get a second one, it'd look exactly the same because it is easy to build monopose. But yeah, look at the difference in sort of poses anyway. Even though it's a single pose miniature, pose is just better with the Venom Crawler, and that's what the difference in those years make. But remember, this Venom Crawler is now, you know, 3 years old. We've also got sort of one of the best machine aiding minis out there, which is the Lord Discordant right here. And yeah, the Lord Discordant works very well with some Venom Crawlers and also the Forgefiend and Maulerfiends too. So they're the big sort of demon engines I wanted to compare the Forgefiend to. Unfortunately, I don't have unfortunately, the Heldrake isn't built yet. That is very high on my to build list after I finish the Eldar. Other size comparisons, we've got Terminators and Obliterators there compared to Forgefiend and the Terminators. All work very well together. And then I'll compare him to Abaddon in a separate sort of size comparison. Yeah, a fair bit bigger than Abaddon. It's going to be one of your biggest miniatures outside like a Heldrake or a Land Raider. Definitely up there. It's like a medium, almost large miniature. And the final size comparison I like to make is just with the usual 3 suspects. So you've got a normal Legacy Space Marine here, which could probably run underneath the Forgefiend. You've got Slime Marbo, which definitely could plant some charges on one of the legs. And then you've got a Primaris Space Marine, which is not even up to the hip. Yeah, barely up to the hip of the back legs. So yeah, quite a big unit compared to even like the bigger sort of Space Marines. The final part of my review will be just to go over all of the rules for the Forgefiend. So not much has changed compared to the 8th edition rules. So I'll just go through the supplement. So the Forgefiend or Maulerfiend, they're both a heavy support choice, and it's a power points cost of an 8 and a points cost of 100 points for the Forgefiend and 120 points for the Maulerfiend. So the stat line reads, it's a movement of 8 inches, weapon skill 4+, ballistic skill 4+, strength 6, toughness 7, 12 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 8 and a save of 3+. Exactly the same stat line as in 8th edition. Nothing has changed. It's one of these models, because it's a vehicle, whereby the less wounds it has remaining, the worse its stat line gets. So if it's got between 4 and 6 wounds, its movement drops to 6 inches and its ballistic skill drops to 5+, and it only gets 3 attacks. And between 1 and 3 wounds, its movement drops to 4 inches and its ballistic skill goes to 6+, and attacks is 2. That's different to the Maulerfiend, where the Maulerfiend is quicker, and it's its strength that drops, not its weapon skill or ballistic skill, but again its attacks drop. Now I would have preferred the Forgefiend to have 3 attacks or even 2 attacks and have a ballistic skill of 3+ instead of 4+. I'm thinking that maybe for these kind of demon engine things, ballistic skill 4+ is kind of like the go-to for them. So that's probably the reason why they're sticking to that. A Forgefiend is a single model equipped with 2 Hades autocannons and demon jaws. So the model may replace both Hades autocannons with ectoplasma cannons, and the model may replace its demon jaws with an ectoplasma cannon. And that's what I've done. I've just replaced everything with ectoplasma cannons. They're a range of 24 inches, they're a heavy D3, strength is 7, AP -3, damage D3, and they're blast. So an effective range there of 32 inches, possibly 9 shots of strength 7, AP -3 with that blast and that damage D3. Pretty nice. Of course, I would have preferred these plasma cannons because they're absolutely huge to be 36 inches. And I really can't see why they're not. They should be. I would fully support them to be that range. Then it would fall in line with other standard issue sort of plasma cannons. The Hades autocannon, on the other hand, is a 36-inch range, heavy 4, strength 8, AP -1, damage 2. So what you're getting there is you're getting more shots because straight up you've got 4 shots. With 2 of them, you've got 8. The strength is really good. It's better than the plasma cannon, but the AP isn't as good, and the damage, I'd say, is about the same because D3 probability you're going to get 2 or more. The demon jaws is something you can have it equipped with instead, which probably would give it, which just gives it a bit more, I say, bite in close combat. It gives it an AP -1, damage 2 attack rather than just its normal 4 attacks at strength 6. Abilities, it's demonic, much like the Venom Crawler, which means the model has a 5+ invulnerable save. Infernal regeneration. At the start of your turn, this model regains 1 lost wound. So you combine that with the Warpsmith. You know, it's got 12 wounds already. If every turn, if it's got less than the 12 wounds, it's just automatically regenerating 1. So if you manage to knock, you know, like 4 wounds off it, so as an enemy, if you're able to knock 4 wounds off it, it's going to get back one of those wounds, the Warpsmith can come along within 1 inch of it and repair it for an extra 3 wounds possibly, and it's back to full strength. So possibly difficult to kill, you know, toughness 7, a normal save of 3+ with an invulnerable 5+, they are going to be tough. You know, you have 2 of these next to a Warpsmith, or even 2 Warpsmiths, then yeah, they're going to be a bit of a pain to get rid of from range. Explodes. If this model is reduced to 0 wounds, roll a d6 before removing the model from the battlefield. On a 6 it explodes, and each unit within 6 inches suffers d3 mortal wounds. Keywords: Chaos, Heretic Astartes, Vehicle, Demon, Demon Engine, Forgefiend. So, how does it compare to a Maulerfiend? Well, a Maulerfiend, in terms of power points cost anyway, is cheaper, but it's more expensive. But the Maulerfiend's more expensive, actual points cost. The Maulerfiend does excel in close combat. And when I say excel, it's got exactly the same weapon skill and exactly the same number of attacks, except the Maulerfiend has Maulerfiend Fists, which doubles the strength up to 12. So, which is quite decent, especially when coupled with the armor penetration of -3 and a damage straight up 3. It will rip and tear. It's pretty good. However, it's only got those 4 attacks. And it's also equipped with Magna Cutter. Now you can replace the Magna Cutter, which is just a 6-inch melter weapon essentially. You know, at ballistic skill 4+ as well, I'd probably just go all out and just get the Lash of Tendrils, because Lash of Tendrils are actually pretty decent. Their armor penetration is -2, damage 2, and you can make 6 additional attacks with this weapon, which means it would have 4 strength 12 AP 3 AP -3 attacks and 6 strength 6 AP -2 attacks, with all of that extra damage. It's a lot of damage. And of course it's still got the 5+ invulnerable and infernal regeneration. These things do have a lot of potential. They have a couple of weak points as well, like their weapon skill and ballistic skill, and also the plasma cannons being a shorter range, and the Maulerfiend not having a huge number of attacks base. But they are pretty strong, but they're pretty survivable, and they'll cause a lot of damage once they get into range, both their melee and ranged weapons. What do you guys think of the model and the rules? Was there another unit or model that they could have included in this Eldritch Omens box set instead of the Forgefiend? Interested to find out what you think. Please do put your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. I thoroughly enjoyed building this one, and think it looks great. And it's actually encouraged me to pick up another one to go with the Force, much like the Heldrake has. Please put your thoughts and opinions down in the comments as always. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. Death to the False Emperor.